Hey everybody, Jason McMillan, Keep Calm and Train Your Rookie. Playing with the portable MasterStream adapters that we have here on our rigs. I have a previous video on how we stage all of our equipment when it's mounted on the rig itself. Go back through our history, find it if you want. So right now we're going to focus on what options we have when we're using our portable MasterStream adapter. Got our base unit here. We'll have Kelly go ahead and deploy all the feet. Peterson, come on in, you can get in and get shorthand on it. Go. This particular model, it's usually easier with two folks, one to hold it in place, get both pins in position. Other way. Here you go. All right. Got this in the general direction that we're going to go. A lot of our systems have this chain assembly on it, and it's got a hook. In an urban setting, you can oftentimes find some place to hook this. You can hook it over a curb, onto a drain, around the street sign or whatever. Pull it in, it ratchets it, keeps it tight. Other things to keep in mind, if we zoom in real close right here, we have these carbide tips here. Notice that they're spring-loaded. Works really well on asphalt. It will work on concrete, but basically you take a striking tool and strike that point. It drives this sharp tip and makes a divot into the hard surface that you're using. We don't have any pins, but this particular model, you can take a full steel pin and drive it through that hole in the soil to help give it an extra grip. Most commonly though, what we do is we actually use the hose. Okay, so Kelly, go ahead and make our connection here. Notice this will take 2 2.5s. Talk more about those connections here in a minute. And we're going to get the spring lube out. There you go. What we like to do is once we get the line out and charged, we make 2 large loops. One with one side hose, one with the other, and they cross. Where they cross, we tie it in. So the mechanism is charging and making a stiff hose, and we're putting the force back into the hose. Let's also, though, let's talk about this here. Keep in mind, come down here, Pearson. This is actually a Siamese, and these have flapper valves in them. That tip on there will flow 500 gallons per minute. 1 2.5 at about 150 feet. You can meet the needs of that nozzle. You can flow 500 gallons per minute with it if you've got the water supply for it. What you can do though is you can get this up and running while this is flowing. You can take a second dry line and hook it up to this other side. Then once you charge it, you'll get the extra water flow into the Siamese and out the tip. Key thing to keep in mind is you need to have equal pressure coming out of both lines to make sure that the flapper valve on both sides are open equally. It'll want to pressurize. If this side is lower than this side, the pressure in here will keep it closed. All right, up over here, other options that we've got. We've already talked about a gate valve that allow you to control right here to the device to turn it on or off. Other options that you might need, if you've got a defensive fire and you're worried more about exposures, we've got a big water fog adapter. We would strip it down to the stream straightener, put that in place. This will take up to 1,500 gallons per minute. Okay. However, you don't always need that big water. Sometimes you just want an unmanned device. You're in a rural area, you have a large fire and you're worried about an exposure on a propane tank, or maybe you're talking about a hazardous material storage area. You simply want to keep the outside of it cool and wet. So what you can do is with it off, we can strip this inch-grade strip off down to 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches meets 1.5 inches. This particular nozzle is a select gallonage nozzle. If I only need 95 gallons per minute, I set it for 95, I set my fog pattern, I open it up, I'm only using 95 gallons per minute. I don't have to use 500. Or maybe I need 125, 150, or 200, and I can also fine tune it a little bit with the valve on the nozzle. All right, thanks for tuning in. That's just some of the options that we have. To me, the great thing about playing with a MasterStream bass, you're more likely to remember using it if you need it, even if you leave it mounted on the rig. You had to get up there, take it off, and put it back on in order to play with it on the ground. So if you have only one chance a year or limited chances throughout a year to play with a MasterStream device, go ahead and go all the way, pull it out on the put it out on the adapter, put it on the ground. Thank you much.